Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Food School Smarter, Stronger, Leaner podcast. Adventures of one obsessed nutrition coach on a mission to create a world where food makes us better. Today, guys, by the way, how did you enjoy our conversation with Matt? Right, yesterday, nutrition researcher with whom we talked a lot about why we don't hear so much nutrition advice from medical authorities, why they're talking about social isolation only and the vaccine that is coming in hopefully in some foreseeable future, but they don't talk a lot about what we can actually do, all of us, to proactively boost our immune system, support our immune system, support our health, at the same time helping the whole healthcare system to have less load, because we're not gonna get sick as often and we're not gonna get sick as severely as we could have if we didn't take care at all of our meal plan, of our nutrition, and of course of our immune system through our food. So tune into that conversation in the previous episode of our podcast if you want to be a fly on the wall and listen to our conversation about why it's happening and how food and actually what foods can help you to boost your immune system, to support your immune system, so you have a better chance to fight off whatever is going around today or in foreseeable future. Today, guys, we are continue talking about supporting our immune system. And first, I'd like to start with a recipe that a meal actually that I'm going to be cooking today. But in a few newsletters yesterday and the day before yesterday, I read about nutrients that are in high demand right now among populations and food producers, because those nutrients do help to boost our immune system. And it's a noble fact, and everybody agrees on that. And that's why there is more and more demand for those nutrients. Specifically, I read about vitamin A, vitamin D, vitamin C, vitamin E, B6, iron, and zinc. And so I decided to talk about this nutrient specifically, guys, and how you can effectively deliver it to your immune system by eating delicious meals. So let's start with my meal today that I'm going to be cooking. It's a simple meal and it provides, let me see. So let's start with vitamin D. It doesn't provide a lot of vitamin D, even though it is 40%. And as we talked about before, cod liver. I'm not sure on what episode we talked about it, but cod liver is one of the hands down best and most effective, efficient sources of vitamin D. Just a tiny piece of it, like about 20 grams of it, will deliver 200% of your vitamin D. And vitamin D is a fat soluble vitamin, so our body can store it. So for example, if you find a cod liver can, that is how it's usually sold, and you eat the whole can, that is usually about 100 grams, then you're gonna have 1000% of your vitamin D, or basically you're covered for 10 days. And with that, guys, you're gonna get more than 3 weeks supply of your vitamin A, that is also crucially important for our immune system, and also you get like a month's supply of your omega-3 fatty acids. So cod liver, it's quite an efficient thing. And if you can't find cod liver as a food that is highly enjoyable to eat, find cod liver oil supplement that will have all those vitamins, even though different supplements, different quality, will have different amounts, but still it's going to be quite a lot. So you're going to get vitamin A, vitamin D, and omega-3 fatty acids. So if you want to start with fish oil supplement, then find good quality cod liver oil. So my meal, let's just start with foods, I think. For my meal, I'm going to be cooking today some spinach, Brussels sprouts, and bell pepper sauteed with onions, and probably I'm going to add mushrooms, but I didn't count the nutrition in button mushrooms or in champignons. So spinach, baby spinach, a red onion, we're gonna have red bell pepper, we're gonna have Brussels sprouts. I'm gonna saute all of that with three big whole eggs. And on the side, I'm gonna eat some canned tuna, an average can of tuna, and a handful of sunflower seeds, or 1 ounce, 30 grams of sunflower seeds. And I'm also going to be roasting 4 medium oysters. If you want to see me roasting those oysters and prepare the whole meal, then check out my Instagram today. I'll be sharing with you this really simple and fast meal. It seems like a lot, but it's actually pretty fast, because all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna saute cut onions, baby spinach, Brussels sprouts, some onion, some bell peppers, and I'm gonna add some spices, some salt, some olive oil, and then 3 eggs, and I'm gonna saute it at medium heat, basically stirring it all and letting it cook for about 10-12 minutes. And while I'm doing that, I'm gonna be also roasting in the oven my 4 oysters. That will take about 10 minutes at 220 degrees centigrade, and I forgot what it is in Fahrenheit, but you can use Google to translate that. It's a pretty hot oven. And with that, guys, with that one simple meal and about 650 calories, you're gonna get 40% of your vitamin D. That is not bad at all, especially if you are a fan of cod liver on other days. Remember, you don't have to eat your vitamin D every single day. You can just eat a bunch of it on some days, because our body can effectively store it for a long time in our fat tissue. And with that meal, when it comes to vitamin A, we're gonna get, 85%. That is, again, also not that bad. And if you're eating some liver on other days, you're gonna get plenty of vitamin A from other foods, but still not bad, 85%. Vitamin C, we're gonna get, I'm checking my database here, 282% of that. When it comes to vitamin E, another body's major antioxidant, we're gonna get 108% of vitamin E. Zinc, we're gonna get whooping 514% of zinc. All the oysters, guys, the best source of zinc, hands down. In just tiny amount, you get so much. So if you really want to support your immune system, guys, invest in some frozen oysters. Some people can find tinned oysters that are also good. And a shortcut that you can check out in your area. A lot of restaurants are closed these days, but a lot of them have oysters and other seafood, and they can't wait to get rid of it because it can't be stored forever, and we don't know when they reopen and whether they're going to be reopened or not. And so if you approach restaurants that used to sell oysters and ask them about that, then the chances are you might get some oysters pretty cheap from those restaurants that are selling out their stock of food that usually they used at the restaurant, but now they don't use those supplies that much, and not so many people order out oysters, even if the restaurant does the delivery. So check out local restaurants, guys, for oysters. What else? Iron, guys. When it comes to iron, our meal will provide 98%. And B6, that is also super important for our immune system and for energy also. We're gonna get 99%. And some of you are concerned about B12. Guys, when you eat any seafood, almost any seafood, things like oysters, mussels, whelks or sea snails, calamari, almost all of them have a lot of B12. Like seafood, it has a lot of B12, like shellfish specifically. That's what I'm talking about. Not so much about fish, even though fish does also have it, but different fish would have different amounts, and you should check that. But Shellfish, a lot of it has really great amounts of not of B6, of B12. Canned tuna has a lot of B6, guys. So let's also talk about all these nutrients one by one and talk about the most efficient and effective ways to deliver it through foods. So if we take vitamin D and A, I already mentioned cod liver or cod liver oil, hands down the best source for your body. Huge amounts in highly absorbable form, and even if you can't find canned cod liver as a food, or you might not be a fan of eating it, then a tablespoon of cod liver oil a day will give you all the D's, all the A's, and all the omega-3s. So cod liver oil, find good quality, guys. It's worth it. Let's talk about vitamin C. Bell peppers. We talked already about it. The best source to deliver vitamin C into your system. And guys, if you, like my suggestion, if you're not a fan of bell peppers, raw bell peppers, cooking does destroy some vitamin C. If you decide to saute them or roast them, like the longer you cook and the higher the temperature, the less vitamin C you're gonna get. So I would usually double the amount of bell peppers needed if I were to cook them. So if I say that half of big bell pepper will deliver you about 150%, then if you're cooking it, then I would go for the whole bell pepper, whole big bell pepper, and you cover it with your vitamin C. For vitamin E, the best source, guys, sunflower seeds. Eat 1 ounce, 30 grams of it, and then maybe eat some avocado, some fatty fish, some olive oil, some maybe hazelnuts or almonds to get the rest, about like 25% you'll need, or just eat 45 grams or ounce and a half of sunflower seeds, and you're gonna get all the vitamin E. Plus, there's gonna be other minerals like zinc, like copper. Seeds are in general very rich in not just in vitamin E, but also minerals like zinc, like iron, like copper, like selenium. So check seeds out. Let's talk about vitamin B6. So the best, well, actually there are quite a few sources of vitamin B6, and unless you're eating highly selective diet and you're not eating of a lot of whole foods, unless you're not doing that, then you should be worried about B6. Other than that, like, it's quite easy to eat. For example, yellowfin tuna, in 150 grams, about 5 ounces, you're gonna get 80% of your B6. Turkey meat, a lean turkey meat, will give you about 60% of your B6 in just 5 ounces of 150 grams. Let's look at mussels once again, guys. If you are a fan of mussels and you eat about 5 ounces of 150 grams of mussels, you're gonna get about 45-50% of your, of B6 of iron. I don't know why I looked at iron. Sorry guys, not so much B6 in mussels. Let me actually see how much B6 in mussels. Yeah, like 8%, not at all. But let's go to vegetables and plant kingdom and B6. Palm hearts, really amazing foods, quite high in zinc, potassium, copper, and phosphorus. B6, 65% per 5 ounces, 150 grams, and 173 calories. So palm hearts. Then we get potatoes, guys. 5 ounces of sauteed potatoes, about 26% of B6. An avocado, a medium avocado, 36% of your vitamin B6. So, yellowfin tuna, turkey meat, palm hearts, avocados, potatoes, great sources of B6. Also, like some lentils will give you some lentils, other beans will give you some B6. So if you're eating a bulk of those foods, you have a pretty good chance of getting all of your B6. Like my favorite way to get my B6 is tuna. Canned tuna in olive oil. That's my favorite food. So that's how I'm getting a lot of a lot of B vitamins. Tuna is quite high in a lot of nutrients. You're gonna get B3, selenium, a lot of phosphorus, B12, also choline. That is also hard to get in a lot of foods. What's next? Iron. We talked about zinc, so oysters is a great source of zinc. Then sea snails that you can see on my Instagram often these days. 100 grams of sea snails and you're gonna get all your zinc. And with that also there are a lot of minerals and of course B12 and some omega-3s. When it comes to mussels, you gotta eat like quite a lot, like a pound of mussels to get all of your zinc if you're not getting it anywhere else. But then when it comes to mussels, you also gonna get quite a lot of iodine, selenium, and you're gonna get all your iron and phosphorus if you eat all your zinc. But even if you eat just 5 ounces of muscle meat, or 150 grams, 5 ounces, you're gonna get 120% of iodine, 88% of selenium, 47% of iron, phosphorus 42, zinc 32, copper 24, B12 684, and then some B2, B7, choline, niacin, folate. So it's a great source. And omega-3 fatty acids, 100% of those too. So really an amazing food source. For zinc, guys, you can also eat crab meat. Crab meat, a whole crab, will deliver to you about 80% of your zinc, but then also again, whooping amount of selenium, iodine, copper, phosphorus, 35% of your calcium, like B12, riboflavin, and vitamin E also here. So seafood, as you can see, it's quite rich when it comes to zinc, to minerals. Yellowfin tuna and canned tuna, any tuna actually in general, quite high in B6, but specifically yellow tuna. So for zinc, for iron, for B6, guys, tuna specifically for B6, and also lean turkey meat is quite high in B6, so tuna, turkey for B6, but then zinc, iron, omega-3s, and other minerals. Zinc specifically looking into oysters, so like again, check out local restaurants because oysters are high in other minerals too. So oysters, get your oysters, get some mussel meat, get some crab. And for all these seafood, check out again your local restaurants, maybe some local seafood markets that are closed now. They might have quite a lot of stock of seafood that they can't wait to sell out. So check out your local restaurants and fish markets that are closed for your oysters, mussels, sea snails, crabs, all this fancy food that now might be actually more available. For your sunflower seeds, 1.5 ounces will give you plenty, plus it will give you more zinc, more copper, more iron, more selenium. For your vitamin C, learn to love your bell peppers. Red bell peppers specifically are the highest in vitamin C. And for A and D's, cod liver or cod liver oil, guys. And believe me, your immune system will function so much better. And why does it matter that your immune system will function better? Because guys, it might be a difference between you getting sick and getting into a hospital and needing emergency room and needing some special assistance from all the healthcare professionals, or you might get some stuffy nose, or you might have some discomfort in your throat. And that might be it, guys. You might not even get fever because your immune system is so strong. By the way, recently I read a paper about vitamin D and the severity of cases of COVID-19. And it seems that the more people deficient in vitamin D, the more severe their cases are. And vitamin D, again, what's the food for vitamin D? Cod liver and cod liver oil. So get your hands on some cod liver and cod liver oil. Or, of course, if you can get outside and get sun and you're in the area where it's sufficient, then get out there and get sun regularly. It's much better for your immune system than staying inside. But for the rest of us, I'm right now in Siberia and it's raining and it's +8 degrees or somewhere about, what's it in Fahrenheit? Maybe about like 42, 45. So not that warm. For the rest of us, cod liver and cod liver oil, we are lucky enough to have amazing cod liver from from Atlantic Ocean and then from Iceland. So I'm eating it quite regularly. And again, you eat a can of that deliciousness once in 10 days and you're gonna get more than enough of vitamin D and like a lot of vitamin A plus the omega-3s, that is even more. So cod liver and cod liver oil. And then again, for C's, eat your bell peppers. For E's, eat your sunflower seeds, 1.5 ounces for B6, yellowfin tuna and turkey, lean turkey meat. And for your zinc, oysters. For your iron and other minerals that also needed for proper function of our body and our immune system too. Seafood, especially look again into oysters, into sea snails, into mussels, into crab meat. Check out local restaurants, local seafood markets that might be closed, but they still might have a lot of stock that they'd like to sell as soon as possible. You're also going to be helping the industry when you get that off their hands. And to share with you once again my meal that will cover you entirely in vitamin C, vitamin E, vitamin B6, zinc, and iron. So my meal, and it will give you a good amount of vitamin D and vitamin A also. So my meal, sauteed with red onion and olive oil and your favorite spices and herbs. So sauteed baby spinach, 150 grams of it, Brussels sprouts, 150 grams of it, bell pepper, the whole big red bell pepper for all the vitamin C. Plus I'm gonna add at the end 3 whole big eggs. And I'm also gonna eat some sunflower seeds and I'm gonna roast 4 medium oysters. For all of the deliciousness and the recipes and how I'm gonna make it done, check out my Instagram and you're gonna see all of this in my stories. Thank you guys for tuning in today. You learned a lot about foods that are important for your immune system, and as you can see, it's not that complicated. Those are not some highly unavailable superfoods. Most people probably not even looking at them, stocking up on pasta and all that crap. So thank you for listening. Thank you for eating better. Thank you for staying healthy, because by staying healthy, you help the world to stay healthy and release or ease burden on our healthcare system and healthcare workers. So by taking care of your immune system, you are making the world better, and you make your life better, because again, you get sick less, you get sick, and even if you do get sick, you recover much faster. Thank you guys for tuning in. Stay tuned on my Instagram today to cook up some immune system deliciousness, and as usual, you too, till next time, eat better daily.